Washington. The situation in Afghanistan is getting worse. Pentagon spokesman John Kirby says the Afghans do have what they need to protect themselves.
They have an Air Force, a capable Air Force, which, oh, by the way, is flying more airstrikes than we are every day. They have modern equipment. They have organizational structure. They have the benefit of the training that we have provided them over 20 years. They have the material, the physical, the tangible advantages.
CBS News correspondent David Martin says U.S. troops have begun to arrive.
Over the weekend, the bulk of the 3,000 troops being sent in will be on the ground and ready to coordinate an airlift that can remove thousands of people a day.
I'm Stephen Portnoy. President Biden hasn't had anything to say about the situation in Afghanistan since Tuesday, when he insisted he did not regret his decision to draw down U.S. forces. Aides say Mr. Biden was briefed this morning at his Wilmington home on the efforts to evacuate American civilians from Kabul, and that he'll continue to be briefed at Camp David, where he's expected to spend the next several days.
A COVID booster shot has been approved by a CDC advisory panel for some people, as we hear from WSB's Sabrina Cupid.
The third shot is recommended for those who are moderately to severely immune compromised. 44-year-old Heather told the committee she's undergoing treatment for ovarian cancer and is hoping to get the third shot.
My prognosis is poor. I most likely have about 2 to 3 years left to live, so every day counts.
The booster only applies to Pfizer and Moderna vaccines. Mississippi getting hit hard by COVID. Today, a new single-day record. The federal government is pitching in now to help.
2 teams of public health experts from the Biden administration are in Mississippi to pitch in at 2 hospitals in Jackson, the University of Mississippi Medical Center and St. Dominic Memorial Hospital. In addition, the Federal Emergency Management Agency is working with state officials to send any additional resources and support the state might need. This effort comes as Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves has extended a state of emergency order for 30 more days. It had been set to expire this weekend. Linda Kenyon, CBS News.
Impeachment's off the table for New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. Here's CBS's Tanya Rivero.
In a statement, New York State Assembly Speaker Carl Heastie said, quote, "Let me be clear. The committee's work over the last several months, though not complete, did uncover credible evidence in relation to allegations that have been made in reference to the governor. This evidence, we believe, could likely have resulted in articles of impeachment had he not resigned."
This is CBS News.
Your business journey never stops. Neither do we. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DEL and do more with modern devices and Windows 10 Pro.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like you're going 100 miles an hour, barely keeping up. But to cruise through challenges, you need someone who's right there with you. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the tech advice you need to get past whatever's in front of you and get to where you want to go.
Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DEL and do more with modern devices and Windows 10 Pro.
Are you a true crime superfan? Join award-winning 48 Hours correspondent Erin Moriarty on the My Life of Crime podcast. Named the 2021 Digiday Best Podcast, each episode pulls you straight into the investigations, including a New York City after-party gone horribly wrong, a cold-blooded teen killer looking for a retrial, and more. Season 3 coming this fall. Follow My Life of Crime on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Tommy Lang with KCJJ News. The Reimagining Campus Safety Advisory Committee has released their report on how to best reform the University of Iowa Police Department. The report consists of input from Iowa City residents and the campus community over a roughly 6-month period. 3 proposed models were presented for reforming the UIPD. They include keeping the basic structure of the department as is, but adding diversity of crisis trainings, a reimagining of the department and taking a new, holistic approach to campus safety, and leaving the UIPD basically the same with the review board added. Of those who provided input, nearly 90% want the reimagining model going forward. Over 80% said they disliked the other 2 ideas. The report also surveyed respondents about their views of the current UIPD. 61% of the males surveyed said they felt safe around university police, while just 46% of the females and 32% of non-binary or transgender respondents felt safe. The report also made 24 recommendations, calling for more support services funding, using officers only in more serious situations, and employing mental health professionals to work directly with the department. It was also recommended that a review board be set up to report to UI President Barbara Wilson, review UIPD data, and recommend changes if needed. None of the changes are final until Wilson signs off on them, which she's expected to do sometime this fall. A Cedar Rapids group has not given up on the dream of a casino in the area. The Gazette reports a newly assembled volunteer group calling itself the Lynn County Gaming Association will be pushing voters to back a measure to allow gambling in the county and possibly a casino in the future. The Lynn County Board of Supervisors approved placing the referendum on this November's ballot. The Cedar Rapids Development Group has a deal with the City of Cedar Rapids through October 9th, 2029, for the city to exclusively support the group in a casino license application. The Gaming Association says early polling done by their group shows support for the referendum. The Iowa Ethics and Campaign Disclosure Board shows no campaign yet formed to oppose the referendum. The Iowa Racing and Gaming Commission has rejected the idea of a casino in Lynn County twice, but they have 4 new members since the last time they voted against such a plan. Previous attempts at a Cedar Rapids-based casino have been opposed by the Riverside Casino and Golf Resort in Riverside. Multiple closures will occur this weekend on parts of the Interstate 80-380 interchange. Starting Friday night, the northbound Highway 218 to eastbound I-80 ramp will close at 10 p.m. through 6 a.m. Saturday. Traffic will be rerouted to Forever Green Road. The westbound I-80 to southbound 218 ramp will be closed starting at 5 p.m. Saturday through Monday at 1 a.m. Traffic will again be rerouted to Forever Green Road. The eastbound I-80 to southbound 218 ramp will close Sunday night at 10 through Monday morning at 1. Traffic will be detoured to northbound 380 to Forever Green Road. For traffic updates, you can go to 511ia.org or download the free app to your mobile device. The Iowa Arts Festival and the Coralville 5th Street Social are both happening this weekend. For more information on either event, you can go to summerofthearts.org or go to coralville.org/5th Street Social. In sports, MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred has announced there will be another Field of Dreams game in Dyersville next year. Tim Anderson hit a walk-off 2-run home run into the cornfield in the bottom of the 9th inning to end Thursday night's game in cinematic fashion. The White Sox beat the Yankees 9-8. With KCJJ News, I'm Tommy Lang. Now look at the weather forecast from SevereStudios.com.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. A mostly clear sky tonight, a low of 55. For tomorrow, sunshine and pleasant. Highs into the low 80s and right around 80-82 degrees with more sun on Sunday. Sunday night, upper 50s for the low 80s for the high again on Monday, up to the mid-80s by Tuesday. Chance of showers and thunderstorms for the middle and late part of next week. That's your KCJJ forecast. Currently 81 degrees.
You're listening to Molly Suter on the mighty 1630 KCJJ.
Yes, hello, it is me and Cindy.
Hi. Whoa.
Whoa, oh, sorry.
Do I need to
pot it down a bit? I potted
it up. Who was here before?
No,
it was so quiet.
No, it's me. It's me. I tried to do prep and I just didn't know it was that high.
Apologies to anyone who had headphones on.
Yes, including me. I have headphones on. Yeah, well, you're better now. You're better now. We're good. All right, so right off the bat, I have a question. I was just listening to the news, and Tommy implied that there was no gambling allowed in Lynn County. Is that
like at
a
all?
Thing? Yeah, it was like there was a volunteer group getting together and like proposing that gambling be allowed, and that there's going to be they want to be a casino there.
I think there's got to be some sort of strict ruling generally in the United States, I think, because it was a big deal to get a gambling thing in Riverside. Like, didn't they have to actually put it has to be on a body of water, is what somebody had told me.
I do not
in the
know.
state of Iowa.
Oh, and probably.
That's why there was always the riverboat gambling, but
in
like
Dubuque.
Riverside was a big deal and I don't know if I never did, Google search it, but they actually put down like balloons of water, basically, like big, huge things of water underneath it so that it would be on a body of water. But I don't know if that's true, because now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, maybe just somebody just said that because it was like the urban legend at the time.
Yeah.
But it would make sense if it was like that's the loophole.
The Riverside Casino opened when I was like in 7th grade, so I don't remember caring that much. And I suppose I still don't now. I was just kind of taken aback that there seems to be no gambling in the county.
I mean, that would explain why there's no casino there.
Yeah.
But like there's not casinos everywhere, you know? Like it's a big deal to get a casino. There must be some... Well, I'm guessing there's other casinos, obviously. They don't want more casinos because then they would lose out on their... Because people will travel for casinos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's all politics at this point.
Yeah, before the Riverside one opened, the closest was Isle of Capri in Bettendorf.
Because we went to a couple of... I mean, we'd always have to go to wherever the riverboat ones were.
Dubuque.
Yeah.
I think there might be some in
like the boats,
the Quad Cities, but when I think of riverboat casinos, I think Dubuque.
And I don't even know where they were because I just kind of went with whoever I was with.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the buffets are the best part of that.
Really?
Well, I mean, my bar is really low when it comes to buffets or food in general.
I don't love buffets. Even before the pandemic, I was just like,
Your buffet has to be really, really bad for me to be like, I never want to go there again.
I went to one, I don't remember where it was, and I was like, this is alright, but like, I'd rather go to a restaurant and like, order something.
I'm a sucker for all you can eat.
Oh, see, I guess I don't get enough to justify getting an all-you-can-eat pass. I eat like a standard portion amount, if that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, often I will have leftovers at like restaurants and stuff because I can't finish the portion. But
I don't really have that problem.
A lot of people don't.
Although I fill up really quickly, so buffets are usually not a great deal for me because I'll eat and then I'm full.
Like it's not worth it.
And then an hour later, I'm hungry again. But I like the variety.
That's why you go to a Chinese buffet, because Chinese food is always like, you eat it, and then an hour later, you're like, more Chinese food. And then an hour later, more Chinese food.
You just stay there all day and eat all day, right?
Yes. But I'm talking kind of specifically when you have Chinese leftovers in your fridge.
Yeah.
Like, you just, like, nibble on a few rangoons, put it back in the fridge. An hour later, nibble on a few more rangoons.
Yeah, and I'll just eat them all in one sitting and then be really sick until an hour later I'll do it again.
Mm-hmm.
I might have food issues. I don't know.
Yeah, so that was my question about Lynn County. I don't know.
I mean, I think every place is anti-gambling, it seems like, unless you... Right? I mean, that was like... I mean, you can't do like high stakes poker games for profit in your basement.
Can you?
I don't think so. I think it's against the law.
Oh.
They had a whole movie about it. That girl,
I'm not a lawyer.
That girl that did it in LA or something.
What?
It was Janie's Game or something like that. I forget. It was a female.
I don't know. I just see, like, in movies and shows all the time, people are just around playing poker with
I know, but they always go to the
money.
Well, but then there's always that back room. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a back room where you play the big game.
Oh, no. I don't know.
But, like, I think you can do regular, like, you know, your friends doing whatever, gambling. But when it comes to, like, the big thing, like, where you're actually a lot of money at stake.
Yeah.
That I think there's laws around. Because
it's a large sum of money. I get it.
Because our society is prudish when it comes to that kind of crap.
It is.
Just same thing with like prostitution.
Yeah.
It's legal in one state.
Which one?
Nevada?
Probably Oregon. Oh, Nevada.
Because they've got the ranch, right?
I don't know.
I think it might even just be in like one county in that state that it's legal.
Is it Las Vegas County?
I mean, it might I mean, I could be wrong about that. Again,
I don't know.
we're talking about things we know nothing about. But
it's a thing for this show. We're
I
just
think
kind of
our
talking.
disclaimer is we think.
We think.
Or I read.
We think.
Or I saw it in a movie. So you really cannot take it 100% that it's factual. But I do know that prostitution in general is not legal.
Yeah, no, I knew that. I didn't know it was legal in one area of one state.
But they have, I know there is a legal, like, I don't want to say hooker, what? Sex worker.
Sex worker. That's the term.
Ranch. It's called The Ranch or
Oh.
The Bunny Ranch.
Oh, I've heard of that, but I'm not in any, like,
Where
detail.
prostitution is legal.
Okay. I'm taking your word for it. I don't know.
I think. Yeah. I think they even have a male version of it, too. But that I'm guessing at. The Dude Ranch.
I don't
Actually,
know.
probably is called the Dude Ranch, I'm
The
guessing.
Dude Ranch.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I don't know of many women that pay for it, but
I don't either, but
you just got to go to downtown Iowa City, get it for free.
maybe not right now because it's COVID, but
all that.
So if you want to join in on this conversation,
Please call. Would you please call if you know anything about prostitution or gambling rules and laws?
So our YouTube channel is the Mighty 1630 KCJJ, and you can go and we are live. You can talk to us in the chat room. Also, please subscribe to our channel. That would be cool if you did that.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah. There's nobody here. There's nobody there right now.
Yep, live chat, 0 people.
Maybe we should change the subject then.
Well, you talked about the news. As I put my headphones on, when did you guys start doing ads for, like, crime podcasts?
Oh, no.
My God.
No, that's a national spot, not a local spot.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
At the end of CBS, there's always 2 national spots, and usually it's like Liberty Mutual or like something for an IBS medication.
Well, this was
This is for
Erin
a
Moriarty,
podcast.
who is one of the Dateline 48-hour reporters that I'm obsessed with. But
Yeah, I heard that too. That's actually the first time I've heard that commercial.
well, I have added that to my roster of things I'm going to listen
All
to.
right. Well, you heard it here first.
Advertising does work.
I guess.
Call the station, book your spot.
Yes.
Did I do that right?
If you have a crime podcast you want to advertise.
Or anything really that I would like.
I don't even know if we would advertise a crime podcast. Maybe.
Well, anything in general. I'm just saying advertising works because
Yeah.
I listen to the ad and boom.
And boom, you're like, all
I'm
right,
adding
I
it to
gotta
my
listen to
Apple
this.
podcast list.
Yeah. So we have a comment in the chat room, but I can't read that all the way over here.
Wow, came on to the YouTube stream and first thing I heard was prostitution.
Yep.
Not the actual act of prostitution.
No. Just we were discussing whether or not it was illegal in that one place in Nevada.
I mean, I could Google search it.
Or I
but-
guess legal. Because it's illegal everywhere else. Yeah, that was my fault since I brought up gambling in Lynn County.
And I, of course, go to prostitution. Okay, we can blame it on me.
Okay, it's Cindy's fault. It's Cindy's fault.
That's why when my friends ask me, what are you guys going to talk about?
Who
I'm like,
knows?
I don't know.
Who knows?
Could be
At this
anything.
point. All right, well, let's see what this call is about. Hello, you're on the air.
Hello, this is Greg calling from Waukesha, Wisconsin. Molly, I haven't talked with you in a while. And hello to the other girl.
Hi.
How are you?
Fantastic.
Good. So I popped on the YouTube stream, and the first thing I heard was prostitution. Yep. And literally the first word that I heard was that. So that was I'm like, it's going to be an interesting night. But I don't know about the rules for prostitution or gambling, but I had a cab driver once, so Molly knows I'm totally blind from birth, and so I take cabs. Well, pre-COVID, I took a lot of cabs. Now I just kind of stay home and am a hermit. No, I'm just kidding. That's partially true. But anyway, I had a cab driver who had a slot machine in his bathroom, and I'm like, how's that working out for you? I just don't know why you would have a slot machine in your personal bathroom.
Yeah.
I just don't understand it.
I mean, does it dispense money, or does he just like the act of using the slot?
Yeah, I guess it, but it's like your own money, right? Like, if you had, like, it would be your own.
Yeah, it would have to be your own money.
Unless it was like he's a true gambler and it dispenses toilet paper, and every time he does the slot thing, he doesn't know if he's going to get toilet paper or not. And depending on his business, that would be truly gambling.
It would.
That seems exciting.
You cracked the code. You cracked the code.
That would be very interesting.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, I just had to call in. I probably could have, I could write a book about all the stories I've had with cab drivers and Uber drivers and Lyft drivers, but I just wanted to call in and say that. So, I'm going to keep listening, and sorry I couldn't help you with
That's all right.
any of the other stuff, but thank you for being on air, and thank you for making my Friday night better by
Goodbye.
making me laugh and think. So, okay, talk to you later.
Have a good night.
I feel like he set the bar too high now.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get any calls about anyone who knows the specifics about the laws regarding sex work, since that would probably out them.
I did find on Wikipedia that it is legal in some rural counties within the state of Nevada.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so let's see what this call is about. Hello, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hello.
You know who this is?
Is it Dog?
Yes.
Yes.
And I just stumbled onto your show. This is kind of cool.
Did you not know I had a show?
Well, no, I said I just turned onto your show.
Uh-huh.
So, you're talking about prostitution.
We are.
I don't know much. Yeah, I don't know much about that, but do you know how to make a hormone?
No.
You don't pay her.
Oh, my God. I don't have...
I'll keep listening.
I don't have the bell. I don't have the bell to ding here. All right. Well, thank you for the call, Dog.
You're welcome.
All right.
Have a good
bye.
night.
I thought all the morning show listeners went to bed early.
Apparently not. Well, I guess all we have to do is talk about sex work, and then
duly noted.
And then they call it.
But I think people could call in and tell us the legality without admitting that they've gone there or not. Like, had sex work. And I won't judge if you have.
No, but if you're like a lawyer or in law school studying this type of law,
or even if you
perhaps
follow several lawyers on TikTok, that would be good enough for me.
Yeah. Yes.
I know there's a couple of TikTok accounts that are from like people that work at that ranch or something similar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Which
is another reason why I feel like it is legal in certain areas, but I don't know which.
I have not gone to that side of TikTok.
I'm on all sides of TikTok. I've told you before, I'm very all over the place on TikTok.
Yeah.
But I find that stuff interesting because it's interesting. And then I follow a couple of people who are, they call themselves, I think, house moms of strip clubs. So they are, and I didn't even know this was a job. Had I known this was a job, I would have looked into it. They basically
like
take care of the gals.
Uh-huh.
Or guys or whatever their dancers are. We'll say the dancers.
Yeah.
And they, in the back, they make sure that they are all like fed and that if they need anything from sanitary stuff to deodorant. They make sure they are taken care of.
Oh,
they
I
will
didn't know that was a
charge
job.
for certain things, but they also get tipped out by the dancers. So that's how they make their money. I think they make a minimum, a minimum hourly, but then they do other things like, I think one gal was like, she sold costumes on the side. So people would buy outfits from her. I also follow a couple strippers too, which are kind of interesting.
I've had a couple of strippers come across my TikTok, but I haven't, not in any like significant way.
I will like them because I like to follow. I also follow a bunch of ex-fundy people too, so that have been in like the religious cults and stuff.
Have you seen the movie Zola?
No.
Oh, it's a movie that came out like a few months ago, and it's about a stripper who meets another one, and then she gets roped into like being a pimp.
Oh.
For a night, and it's wild.
Oh, I might have to check that out.
Yeah, it's wild. It's called Zola. Amy and I saw it, and we did like it. It was good, but it's intense. And it's based off a Twitter thread from 2015.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
Yes.
I'm always looking for good stuff.
It is good. It's by a studio called A24, and they are known for making like kind of movies that are kind of out there and not like your standard.
Is this
blockbuster.
on Amazon, or do you remember where you watched it?
No, I watched it in the theater. Like it's a new movie. Oh. So I don't know if it's going to be on Amazon or anything. I actually don't go to Amazon a lot for movies. I have an account through Amy, but I usually just stick to Netflix and Hulu or Disney Plus or something.
I'm at that and HBO Max, which is where I saw Suicide Squad.
Yeah. I've heard that was good, but I don't care enough to watch it.
You'll love it.
And I don't. So.
But it was good violence. I'm kind of particular about the kind of violence I like. I don't like my violence to be real. Do you know what I'm saying? Like people punching, like, somebody being beat up by a group of people. That's like a documentary type.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like that.
So could you explain, please, what...
It's got to have a good soundtrack. The violence also has to... I like it when the director will like speed it up or slow it down. Like slow motion fighting is always amazing to watch. Mm-hmm. And
so you like choreography?
It has to be like a dance fight, basically.
You like choreography?
Yes.
Okay.
And music. For good examples, watch any of Deadpool.
Again with Deadpool,
especially the opening scene to the second movie. Mm-hmm. Dolly Parton sings a song.
What song?
I don't remember. I think it was... I can't remember the song, but it was Dolly Parton.
Okay.
I'll have to look it up.
Was it Jolene?
No, I want to say it was 9 to 5.
It was 9. It was probably.
I think it was 9 to 5.
That was my next guess.
But just Dolly Parton in general as this theme song to a big old fight is just amazing. And then he does like there's some slow motion and he's like talking over it and cracking jokes. Mm-hmm. And also I like it when they have weird, unusual, like like a fight in a kitchen, for example, where they're taking knives and like the metal plates and like, just unusual, not normal guns, fists, knives. Throw a lasso in there. The other one, The Golden Circle, that movie, has good fight scenes in it. Mm-hmm. Very choreographed, very well. Men in suits fighting. That's awesome.
I actually heard that the second Suicide Squad, Birds of Prey?
I'm confused. Birds of Prey was that was the Harley Quinn movie.
I thought it was a sequel to the Suicide Squad.
I don't know, because she's part of the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
But that sort of took place sort of like after she, supposedly broke up with the Joker, which I don't even know that storyline, but none of the other,
I've never seen any of these movies, so again,
I'm confused on how they all work together, and I'm really confused at the fact that Suicide Squad has already been a movie with that exact title. I don't know how many years ago.
So I think the first one was Suicide Squad, and now this one is The Suicide Squad.
Still, that's way too close.
I agree.
Like, it should be Suicide. I mean, it could feasibly be.
And it's like the same cast too, right?
No,
like
no,
Margot
no.
Robbie. Oh,
it's all different. Margot Robbie, I think, is the only one that's the same.
That's.
Although the gal who's like in charge of it all, who was on, I don't know her name. She's like the main like agent in charge of all the people.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's the same in both. Although I could be wrong about that.
I'm just
Margot Robbie is literally the only suicide character.
Okay.
Like agent or whatever you want to call him. Part of the team.
Character.
That is in both of them. Because it's all new characters.
Is it?
Because Idris Elba definitely wasn't in the first one.
Okay, so is this a continuation of the story?
No,
or is this a remake of the movie?
I feel like Suicide Squad is one of those groups, and I could be wrong. I don't know how the comic books work or how the backstory or what the whole world is like, but it seems like they could make a new Suicide Squad with different characters, because there's a whole prison of bad guys that they could pull from.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically where they're getting them all.
Oh, okay.
Or like the place, like the prison that they put all of the, like the Joker types in.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all the characters that didn't get like major storylines in the other movies, apparently.
Apparently. Yeah, I'm confused by that too. But I've been hearing that this movie is better than that first movie from 2016.
I've seen both of them, and I agree. But
I don't think I'm going to watch either of them.
It's
just because
more,
I don't
but it's
really care.
definitely more. It's got more focus on what's her face?
What?
On Harley Quinn.
Margot Robbie?
Yeah. Because she has a whole off story of this on this movie, and I don't remember them doing that in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
It was more about the actual whatever it is that they did. I don't even remember what their plan was in the first one. It's been a while since I've seen it, but
yeah, like that one came out 5-ish years ago.
Yeah, and I know I saw it. I just don't remember. I don't remember what the whole storyline was.
Right. If you know what the relation is between Suicide Squad and The Suicide Squad, please give us a call. 319-358-1630. I guess I could Google it, but I don't really want to.
The whole story for both of them is that they pulled these people out of their little prison cells and said, you need to do this job for us. They implanted, in both movies, they implanted something into their brain so that if they didn't do what they were told, their head would explode.
Oof.
So that was similar in both movies.
That is quite stressful.
Yeah. My kid keeps calling. Sorry.
Well, does she want to be in the air?
She will not be able to not curse, I'm sure.
Oh. Love that.
She kind of takes after her mom.
A few days ago, I think it might have been, it was 2 days ago, Steve told me, he's like, you better start cursing. And he was joking, obviously, but I was like, if you legitimately gave me the green light to curse, like I would for sure curse on the show. Like if the FCC wasn't a thing, or just got like really lax really quickly,
yeah,
absolutely. I would never stop.
Probably same. I'm always afraid I'm going to.
You know, I was too, but I don't think I ever have.
Because sometimes I'm pretty good at not at work, obviously, and when I'm in social situations, if I don't know the people very well, I try not to curse. So obviously, I can curb it, but at home, I don't.
I usually just use it to pepper conversation, and it happens like if I'm with friends or whatever. But Yeah, I usually don't do it around like strangers or like a public place.
Sometimes it's just like I'm afraid it's going to slip out because it's so comfortable.
But since, I mean, I don't know how many people are listening, but this show, it kind of just feels like I'm talking to you.
Right,
so if I was allowed to, I would just be doing it like I normally do when I'm talking to a friend.
But off air, you don't curse like a sailor.
No, I mean, if I'm with my friends, I do.
I must not be a good enough friend then, because you've not cursed in front of me.
Well, that's because we're usually talking on air, so I can't.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to hang out off air.
We'll get off. We'll get off the air, and I'll just be like,
BS a-hole.
F. That's my favorite.
Yeah, the F word can be used for a multitude of.
Right.
It can be.
It's
it can be really a
versatile.
verb, an adjective, an exclamation.
Yes, it's amazing.
A name.
A name.
You can call that person.
Oh yeah.
F-er.
That's right. Oh, that would be a noun then, right?
Yeah, but like it's a proper name too.
Yeah.
If you call them that enough. I mean, there are some people that's their name in my head.
You probably couldn't name your kid that though. I don't think they would let you.
No. I told you about I know I've told this story a million times. The kids wanted pets when they were younger.
I don't know if I have heard this story.
We had, our cat had died after I moved into the apartment, and they wanted another animal, and I knew they had problems. Like, my big thing is, like, call the body parts what they're named.
Mm-hmm.
Their scientific name. Yeah. So I told them that they could have a pet as long as they named it. Can I say I can say.
Oh wait, you did say that.
Yeah.
You did. Yep, I do remember this.
As long as they named it like vagina or something.
That's so
and of
funny.
course they didn't want to do that. So I didn't have to take care of pets.
Wait, I do remember you saying that. Yeah. It was like months ago, but yeah.
It's been long enough I can recycle the story now? Is there like a time limit?
Like we don't recycle the same stories every week in the same, like, what else has this person been in narrative whenever we're talking about like superhero movies or something? We do that every week, Cindy. People love it.
I know.
They flock to us.
They do. By the tens.
Yes. Or by the ones.
By the single number.
That's how
There's two people.
Wait, there's two?
I think one of them's me.
I see only one. Oh, now
Greg says he's heard you
now
curse on
two.
the air.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't, Greg. He's lying. He's lying. I mean, I can say, like, damn and stuff.
And
That's
also,
not a
I
curse.
really do feel like it depends on what you think a curse is. Like, not everybody agrees. I, growing up, got in trouble for saying crap.
That's not a curse.
I agree. But my mother, who was born and raised a Baptist.
Oh, gosh.
And who married a Catholic and started that, made us become Catholics. That was a curse word.
Oh my gosh. I know some people don't let their kids say the word stupid because they think it's a curse. Or maybe not that they think it's a curse, but they just don't want, like, their kids saying it.
Or calling people that.
Which I understand, but, like, it's not
shut up was another thing. We couldn't tell each other to shut up because it was rude.
I mean, it is rude, but...
I think that's more because sometimes language, I think sometimes can focus your energies differently.
It can.
So if you have to think before you say, shut up, then you kind of calm down a little bit and say, please be quiet.
Yeah, well,
there's a different feeling when you come out. So maybe that's what my parents were going at. So I agree with them there, but crap is not a curse word.
No.
I should not have gotten my mouth washed out for soap that one time.
Oh my gosh. Really?
Yeah.
I've heard of that, obviously, but I've only, like, seen it been done in that, A Christmas Story movie.
It happened.
Oh my gosh.
Although my parents, that was probably the most aggressive they ever got with, because they never spanked and they never did any of that stuff. And it was just the one time.
Gosh. Wait,
because I never cursed again.
Is it because you said crap?
I think so.
Oh my
if I remember correct, it was crap. Yeah, and I never ever cursed again after that.
Ever in your life?
I never lied either.
Right. My gosh. Yeah, so 2 people watching now.
Which one of them might be me?
Yes.
Because only Greg's chatting.
Yeah. If you would like to join Greg in the chat room and us, you should go to the Mighty 1630 KCJJ. That's our YouTube channel name. And we're live.
And you can call us and we will talk about anything.
Yeah, call us 319-358-1630.
We will talk about anything and pretend we know what we're talking about.
Yes, we will.
Speculate on laws about different things.
Oh, well, I did want to bring something up. I was kind of thinking about this earlier. In the last few years, I have seen a lot more trucks on the road, like a Ford F-150, that kind of truck, you know? And I'm wondering how many of these trucks regularly haul stuff around? Or is it just a person purchasing a truck because they think it's manly or whatever? Because I hate parking next to them. I'm always parked next to one. Even if I don't, like, consciously do it, when I come back from wherever I am, there's always a truck parked next to me, making backing out extremely difficult. Because I have a little car. I have a Honda Civic, and it's pretty compact. So it's just a little bit annoying for me. So I'm wondering, I'm like, are you just hauling maybe things around twice a year? If so, do you really need a truck?
I mean, they might make the argument, if it's 4-wheel drive, that you would need it
in the winter,
6 months out of the year.
Yeah, that is a good argument.
I do get what you're saying, because a pickup truck is more of a functional. Like, to me, if I would love to have a pickup truck, but that would be my second vehicle that I would use to haul kayaks or whatever around it.
Yeah,
it would not be my main.
I barely see trucks with, like, stuff in the back of them except, like, for moving day or something. Like,
they're always a camper on the back of it.
They're always, like, the beds are always empty. And so I'm like, what's the point?
They're hauling air. I think they call them a grocery getter.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a lot of groceries, though.
But it's the same as, like, just the vehicles in general getting bigger.
That's true. Yeah, like, SUVs are pretty big now. Which is, I purposely chose a smaller one, because I'm just like, I'm just me. I don't have, like, any kids to haul around or anything. So I really don't need a big hulking thing.
Yeah. There was a period of time where I needed that extra, seater too. But once the kids were old enough and I wasn't hauling both of them even. I mean, can't even remember the last time both kids were in my car. Or even one kid for that matter. Just one dog now, for the most part.
The dog.
Yeah.
He's so cute.
He is. He's getting fixed next week.
Oh, wait, he's still not fixed?
No, it's a whole thing. But yeah, he's finally got an appointment. And
all right. The cone of shame.
I guess. I don't know. Yeah. I'm taking 2 days off to deal with it, so. I even asked my boss, do I get sick leave for animals, or?
He's kind of your son.
My boss just laughed.
Be like, I have a sick child. Please.
He is my baby.
He is. All animals are babies.
Yeah.
And I will defend that. They are all babies. They are all perfect children.
Well, they definitely act like 2-year-olds for all of their life, especially dogs.
Dogs, yeah.
Because you have to take care of
cats, but
well, cats are more independent, but dogs you got to take care of.
Yeah. I mean, you still got to take care of cats too, but like they are a little bit more.
Well, you don't have to take care of their potty needs all the time directly, like you do with a dog.
Yeah,
but I guess it's worth it.
I still have to meet this dog. Every week I say this. I have not yet met Cindy's dog.
I mean, I would love to bring him here, but he would like literally just run and.
Yeah, we would be really distracted.
He doesn't really chew. I mean, he chews, but he's not gonna.
He's not gonna chew on the cords.
But
and
if
stuff.
you leave anything on the ground, he'll pick it up and start chewing on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When Dad brings Wopsy in, she's just like really chill.
Wopsy's older?
Yeah, she's like, oh gosh, 8. Yeah, she's 8.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Moose to get a little more calm. He's getting calmer every week, I can tell, but he's still a baby.
Mm-hmm. He's so cute. You should create more TikToks of him and then go viral.
Or I don't have any good. Oh, I was thinking of like they showed one where they took a GoPro and put it on this stick.
Oh yeah,
I could do that, but I don't have a GoPro.
Well, you could easily buy a GoPro.
I'll have to tape my phone to a stick somehow and figure out how to do that.
Or you can get those talking buttons like Bunny has, and teach him how to talk.
I think Bunny's just really smart.
She is a smart
And I'm
doggy.
not sure, Moose, how do I put this?
Is
He's still my
smart?
child. He has other qualities that are really wonderful.
But maybe not intelligence.
But as I said on Facebook, he just literally follows me around, even though I'm going to the same place, forgetting every time. Like, he acts like I'm doing something new every time.
He loves you.
He's excited. Is she going to forget her coffee again? I don't know.
It's like watching TV. You're his TV. Like, this show is wonderful. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, I just don't know if I could. And I also don't have the patience like Bunny's mom seems to have.
Mm-hmm.
They got a new dog. Did you know that?
I follow them on TikTok. Yes, I do. Bunny is not
happy about
it. No.
It's so weird, like, watching that, because the dog definitely, he knows what's going on.
Mm-hmm. I love the ones where she gets, like, existential. She will look in the mirror and be like, who? That? Dog? Hmm? And it's just like, or like, that? Bunny? Hmm? You're like, oh my gosh, you know it.
Like,
you're
it's
self-aware.
weird. Yeah.
It blows my mind. TikTok is a wonderful place.
I agree. We had a discussion. So at my job, there's 2 of us that are obsessed with TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And we're always trying to talk other people into doing it. And we're not sure, like, not everybody wants to go on TikTok.
I understand. I'm guessing the majority of our audience probably is not on TikTok.
So do you consider yourself obsessive about stuff in general?
Yeah.
Because I do.
Yes, I do.
So I wonder if that's what the common thread is.
That TikTok is just like the latest obsession.
Yeah. But I mean, I will say, I know it's addictive and I know it's probably not long-term great for me because I tend to it's a big time suck.
It is.
I mean, I will literally be like, oh, it's only 7 o'clock. Boom, it's 10 o'clock. And I've literally just, for 3 hours, scrolled through TikTok.
For me, it's an attention span thing. Like, I already have ADHD. It's already shot to begin with. But since TikTok, like, just introduced, like, the 3-minute videos, oftentimes that's too long for me.
I agree.
And I will scroll, and I'm like, is this more than a minute? Pass.
One trick I think I've learned is if the words say, wait till the ending, it's worth it. I'm not waiting.
It's hardly ever worth it.
I'm not waiting. It's never worth it.
Like, it's probably just a dog walking on his hind legs or something.
Especially if I see that it's a 3-minute. I'm like, seriously, I have to sit through 3 minutes to find the ending.
No, they just want, like, the interaction.
I'm not falling for that the 100th time. I finally figured that one out.
Sometimes I will do it and be like, is this going to be really cool? And it's not. Like, 9 times out of 10. It's just like, I could have scrolled it.
I need to take a break. But, as I said before, I think it's really wonderful for opening me up to other cultures, other religions, other people. Like,
exactly.
I mean, all sorts of people are telling their stories and showing us who they are.
Yeah.
through this app in a way that I've never experienced. I'm sure YouTube, it's done that to a certain degree, but TikTok is what opened it up for me.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, you learn a lot if you're on the right side of TikTok. And it is an algorithm, so if you like a certain kind of video, more of that will pop up.
Yeah. And that's what I think I like way too many things. That's why I'm all over the place on TikTok.
That's why it's eclectic. Yeah.
But then I'm also like certain things pop up. I'm like, I didn't know I liked that. Like, I didn't know I was so into cosplay.
Oh, I don't get cosplays on mine.
I got one or two and I liked on it because it had a sewing kind of thing. I like sewing.
Oh, yeah.
Next thing I know, I'm like on weird cosplay, which is fun. But it's just a lot of fun. And you learn about yourself, I think. I've learned a lot about myself through the For You page, for sure.
I was just reading a comment on our chat room. Greg wants to know if you were a soccer mom hauling your kids around in your minivan, going back to our truck discussion.
Am I?
Yes, or were you?
I wasn't not a soccer mom, but I had two kids who had friends, so I would always
haul.
I didn't haul as much. At one point, I was a Girl Scout leader, so I did haul quite a few Girl Scouts on trips and stuff back in the day. But it was always like it was nice when they had birthday parties where I could just have all the kids in one car and we could go to the mall and go to a movie or whatever. But probably not as many times. I could have probably just rented a vehicle the amount of times looking back on it. And considering I was driving back and forth from Iowa City to West Branch in a Envoy.
I don't know what an
Envoy looks like. It's like a slightly taller, longer, wider station wagon. Kind of like an SUV station wagon type vehicle. And it basically, the back end was just filled with junk.
Oh, yes.
Like it had the back, the back.
I know what you mean now. Yeah.
Storage area where I could it was great for vacations because we put all our luggage back there. But it usually just ended up carrying whatever random stuff left over from the last trip that we took.
Yeah.
So I was happy to go to a small vehicle.
When I was a kid, my mom drove two minivans. She had a Toyota Sienna and then a Honda Odyssey with one of those automatic doors, like you push a button and
fancy.
It just it was really fancy. But whenever we were giving a ride to someone who didn't know that car, they would always try to manually close it open, and then we'd be like, oh wait, no, and then it would malfunction and be like, meh. So that got a little bit annoying, but that push button one was fun.
We had a minivan at one point, but not a push button. Didn't even have TVs in it.
Oh my!
I had to bring our own TV.
Mom's did. That was fun.
You guys were rich.
We were comfortable. We didn't use the TV very often just because it took a little bit of figuring out, and Amy and I were always in the back, and so Mom and Dad would have to deal with putting the thing in the and having to deal with it, and a lot of times they just didn't want to, which is completely valid.
We had the portable DVD player.
Oh yeah, we had those too.
Yeah.
We had those too, and they were much easier to deal with, and we could each watch something different if we wanted to. So that was the big thing.
It was a lifesaver on vacations. That's for darn sure. Long trips.
Do you remember? I'm sure you do. The little CD players. I don't remember what brand I had, but they would always skip.
Like the little personal CD players?
Yeah.
Like the Walkman type?
I thought those were for tapes though.
Yeah, but they had them for, what did they call them? They called disc player. Discman.
Discman, yeah.
That's what they called it.
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, I had one of those, and good in theory, but it always broke. It always skipped. There was always something wrong with it.
I've never had, technology today is exactly where it needs to be for me.
Yes.
I don't want to have to own the music anymore.
Oh, see, I like owning music, but that's mostly just because, like, I can say I own it. I can see the music, like, in my collection. Like, I have a few CD cases, and then I also have them on display, like, in a bookcase.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have this little room in my house dedicated to music. Like, I have my record player in there. I have my CDs. I have my little keyboard piano that I got at Walmart for, like, $90. And then I have my ukulele. It's like a little tiny music room in my house. Yeah. I like it.
I can't be trusted with CDs or cassette tapes or...
Oh, no, I used to not take care of mine at all, and so they're all, like, dinged up. They're all, like, they have scratches and stuff.
Yeah, I think during the last clean out of my house, I just threw all of them, or, like, gave them all to Goodwill. I don't remember what happened to them, but I had cassettes and CDs.
Ooh,
and...
cool. You should have told me.
No.
I would have loved
to have some. It was just random. Like, I don't even know if half the CDs were in the right cases.
Well, wait, you didn't even look?
I just... When you gotta get rid of stuff, you just gotta get rid of it.
Yeah, because
when you're ready to let go of something, you just need to, like, dump it. Or I do. I shouldn't speak for everyone. I have to get rid of it right away, or I'm gonna regret it.
Yeah, I never have the correct disc and the correct, like, holder.
Mm-hmm.
I often actually have, like, 2 or 3 discs in one holder because I lose them immediately, and so they don't have homes, and so I have to double or triple up.
Right. You can buy blank case things, though, can't you? Empty cases.
Jewel cases? Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm sure I could order some online or whatever, but it's not exactly, like,
or just rip
readily
all the music
available.
And it's on your laptop.
I don't think people rip stuff anymore. I don't think so. The last time I ripped anything to anything was like 2009.
Well, and I don't even know why I had to have so many cassettes, because even as a kid, I would literally listen to the same one over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm. I had my favorites too,
like Billy Joel.
Nice.
There was a cassette that had Uptown Girl on it.
Yeah.
Whatever that one was.
I don't know what the specific album was.
I remember going on a 2-week vacation to, I don't know, Yellowstone or something, and I listened to that over and over and over and over again.
Oh, wow. I remember I had the No Strings Attached album by NSYNC, but I only liked Bye Bye Bye. So I would just loop that.
That's the thing. I had like 3 songs I really liked on that, so I would do it. And then once CDs came into play, you could just repeat the song.
Well, that's what I mean by looping it. I just pressed repeat.
This is cassette. I had to rewind it, which is a lot of work. So I would often just listen to the whole thing so I could listen to the song. But once I got a CD, I would listen to whatever song I was obsessing with, which I now maybe realize that might be signs of some sort of deficit disorder.
ADHD, I'm telling you. Yeah. No, because I only had cassettes when I was like a little kid. Mm-hmm. Like they went out when I was like 7. And so I never did any of the having to re-loop that. I just listened to it straight through. Or maybe I had my parents do it for me. I don't remember that, but I had the Backstreet Boys Millennium album on cassette tape. I also had Britney Spears' first album on cassette. And actually, Mom found the Backstreet Boys cassette a few weeks ago and gave it to me. So and my record player has like a 4-in-1, so it's like a cassette player, a record player, AM/FM radio, and I think there's Bluetooth capability as well.
Is it 2 cassette players, or is it?
No, it's just one.
Oh, okay.
It's just one cassette
So you
player.
can't make a mixtape from other cassettes.
No. Oh, God. Wait, no. I can't even think about that.
That was the
how
thing.
Does that work? How
you
does
had a
that
boombox. I had a boombox that had two cassettes.
Mm-hmm.
So you could play one cassette and record on the other.
Whoa.
So you would put all the cassettes in and you'd cue them up to the song that you wanted, and then you'd record it onto the blank tape.
Whoa, that's how you did that. Interesting.
You didn't know how to...
No, because I was 7 years old.
I know, I'm old.
I've made my share of mixed CDs.
But I'm happy that knowledge actually got used.
Yeah.
In other ways than just making a lame mixtape for somebody who was never going to listen to it. Or just some party that never happened.
Wait, you would make
because you'd have to
parties?
oh, we're gonna have a party. Oh, let's make a mixtape, and then you'd play all your favorite songs, and then of course you'd get so drunk that you forgot about the mixtape.
Oh,
okay, that might be a story that only happened to me. I don't know, but
oh, that's sad. I think
I mostly made mixtapes for myself, though. Really, to be honest.
Oh yeah, for sure. I did too, and then. My most notable one was the one that I made with Amy. We went to Springfield one summer, and we had to make a mix for the car. So that was my most notable mixtape.
The road trip mixtape.
Yes. Or mix CD. I'm calling it a mixtape. It was a CD.
Yeah. Because you're young.
I'm not so young anymore.
Because you don't even, it was long before your time where you had to tape a song off of the radio.
No, I never did that.
And you had to wait for the DJ to stop talking.
I never did that.
Because the good DJs would talk until the song started. Somehow they knew the timing of...
It's called hitting the post.
Yes, they could hit the post, but that's screwed up.
I know. I never did that, though. Lots of people had that on their cell phones. They would try to make a song their ringtone, and they would try to do that on the radio, but the DJ would always make that impossible for them. Or sometimes if it's at the end and the DJ will talk through the outro music, and then that would mess it up too.
Right. Yeah. I remember those days.
Yeah. Well, I never had to do that, but I know people who did.
Yeah.
So, I think now it is the perfect time for some news and weather, and we will be back for about another hour, right? So, join in that chat room. That's on YouTube, the Mighty 1630 KCJJ, and that is the station that you're listening to right now. So, we will be back.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Dell Small Business.
I'm Stacey Lynn in Washington. The situation in Afghanistan is getting worse. Pentagon spokesman John Kirby says the Afghans do have what they need to protect themselves.
They have an Air Force, a capable Air Force, which, oh, by the way, is flying more airstrikes than we are every day. They have modern equipment. They have organizational structure. They have the benefit of the training that we have provided them over 20 years. They have the material, the physical, the tangible advantages.
CBS News correspondent David Martin says U.S. troops have begun to arrive.
Over the weekend, the bulk of the 3,000 troops being sent in will be on the ground and ready to coordinate an airlift that can remove thousands of people a day.
I'm Stephen Portnoy. President Biden hasn't had anything to say about the situation in Afghanistan since Tuesday, when he insisted he did not regret his decision to draw down U.S. forces. Aides say Mr. Biden was briefed this morning at his Wilmington home on the efforts to evacuate American civilians from Kabul, and that he'll continue to be briefed at Camp David, where he's expected to spend the next several days.
A COVID booster shot has been approved by a CDC advisory panel for some people, as we hear from WSB's Sabrina Cupid.
The third shot is recommended for those who are moderately to severely immune compromised. 44-year-old Heather told the committee she's undergoing treatment for ovarian cancer and is hoping to get the third shot.
My prognosis is poor. I most likely have about 2 to 3 years left to live, so every day counts.
The booster only applies to Pfizer and Moderna vaccines. Mississippi getting hit hard by COVID. Today, a new single-day record. The federal government is pitching in now to help.
2 teams of public health experts from the Biden administration are in Mississippi to pitch in at 2 hospitals in Jackson, the University of Mississippi Medical Center and St. Dominic Memorial Hospital. In addition, the Federal Emergency Management Agency is working with state officials to send any additional resources and support the state might need. This effort comes as Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves has extended a state of emergency order for 30 more days. It had been set to expire this weekend. Linda Kenyon, CBS News.
Impeachment's off the table for New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. Here's CBS's Tanya Rivero.
In a statement, New York State Assembly Speaker Carl Heastie said, quote, "Let me be clear. The committee's work over the last several months, though not complete, did uncover credible evidence in relation to allegations that have been made in reference to the governor. This evidence, we believe, could likely have resulted in articles of impeachment had he not resigned."
This is CBS News.
Your business journey never stops. Neither do we. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DEL and do more with modern devices and Windows 10 Pro.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like you're going 100 miles an hour, barely keeping up. But to cruise through challenges, you need someone who's right there with you. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the tech advice you need to get past whatever's in front of you and get to where you want to go.
Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DEL and do more with modern devices and Windows 10 Pro.
Are you a true crime super fan? Join award-winning 48 Hours correspondent Erin Moriarty on the My Life of Crime podcast. Named the 2021 Digiday Best Podcast, each episode pulls you straight into the investigations, including a New York City after-party gone horribly wrong, a cold-blooded teen killer looking for a retrial, and more. Season 3 coming this fall. Follow My Life of Crime on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.
From the Herteen and Stalker Studios in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Herteen and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
Now, Iowa City's news first.
I'm Tommy Lang with KCJJ News. Iowa's population has grown in pockets around its largest cities over the last decade, while 68 counties in rural areas lost population. According to the U.S. Census data released Thursday, the biggest population gainers were the counties around Des Moines, Cedar Rapids, Davenport, and Sioux City. The fastest growing area in the state remained Dallas County, west of Des Moines, which grew 50.7% to a population of 99,678 in 2020 from just over 66,000 in 2010. The data shows Johnson County increased by the second highest rate, 16.8%. The growth was fueled by a 53% growth in North Liberty and over 48% in Solon. Iowa City and Coralville grew by less, but still well above the state average of 4.7%. Tiffin had the highest growth rate in the state at 131.7% over the last 10 years. Lynn County grew by 9%, with the biggest growth rates shown in Palo, Fairfax, and Cedar Rapids. Census figures also show the state slowly becoming more diverse. Blacks made up 4.1% of the population, up from 2.9% 10 years ago, with Hispanics making up 6.8%, up from 5%. 84.5% of Iowa still identifies as white. The new census figures will be used to redraw the U.S. House and Iowa legislative districts. A Coralville woman wanted on failure to appear for arraignment on domestic assault and child endangerment charges was taken into custody by Iowa City Police Thursday night. Police say they responded to a call in the area of the Hampton Inn on Sturgis Corner Drive just before midnight, referencing a subject who had warrants. The reporting party described the suspect, 26-year-old Tessa Kindred of 2nd Street, and advised that she was walking toward the lobby of the inn. Arriving officers reportedly saw Kindred and approached in squad cars. The arrest report says she took off running, trying to get to her vehicle, but she was cut off by officers. She then reportedly ran the other way and was given orders to stop. An officer grabbed her arm, but as she tried to pull away, she reportedly screamed, "No." Kindred was then handcuffed without incident. She was taken into custody and charged with interference with official acts, a simple misdemeanor. The original charges carry a jail sentence of up to 3 years if convicted. A traveling Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall has arrived in Solon and is available for viewing through the weekend. A slightly larger than half scale of the permanent wall in Washington, D.C., it features over 58,000 names of men and women who lost their lives in the conflict. The display will be open 24 hours a day, and shuttles are available from the parking area. A formal program will commence at 10 a.m. Saturday. The wall visit will end with a reading of the names of individuals from Johnson and surrounding counties Monday morning at 10. For more information, go to the Solon American Legion Facebook page or Solon American Legion Post 460.com. In sports, the first Major League Baseball game in the state of Iowa's history did not disappoint as the White Sox beat the Yankees 9-8 Thursday night on Tim Anderson's two-run walk-off home run in the ninth inning. The teams combined to hit 8 home runs that were sent sailing into the cornstalks beyond the outfield fence, including 2 by Yankee slugger Aaron Judge. Commissioner Rob Manfred says MLB will stage the event again in Dyersville in 2022, with the teams to be determined. Some reports out of Chicago indicate the Cubs will be one of those 2 teams. With KCJJ News, I'm Tommy Lang. Now look at the weather forecast from SevereStudios.com.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. A mostly clear sky tonight, a low of 55. For tomorrow, sunshine and pleasant. Highs into the low 80s and right around 80-82 degrees with more sun on Sunday. Sunday night, upper 50s for the low 80s for the high again on Monday, up to the mid-80s by Tuesday. Chance of showers and thunderstorms for the middle and late part of next week. That's your KCJJ forecast. Currently 81 degrees.
You're listening to Molly Suter on the mighty 1630 KCJJ.
Yes. You are also listening to Cindy.
Hi.
Hi. So, I was actually just talking to a friend of mine during the break, and I was saying, like, we do this weekly show, or semi-weekly, and he's like, oh, who's the co-host? And then he was like, oh, is it Callie, your cat? And I'm like, no, she would be a terrible co-host. And then we were like, oh, my other cat, Hall, he would be a great co-host. So I'm wondering, what animal would be the best co-host, do you think?
Like just general animal or like specific people's pets?
Like, well, I mean, we don't know a lot of people's pets, so I'm going to say just a general animal for now. Like, in general, I don't think a cat would be a good co-host, just because cats tend to be more
They don't
reserved.
give a crap about what
Yeah.
people have to say or what you're doing. They would be over in some other area, minding their own business.
I think the obvious answer here is a dog, but I do want to get a little more creative.
You know what? The dog would be more of a... I don't know that the dog would have his own opinion. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, but they would be like, they would at least be like happy to be there, excited. Like
I think the dog would be a good hype man.
I'm picturing Moose. Like, oh, imagine if it was like us talking now, but with Moose as the hype man.
Right.
Yeah,
That would be great.
That would be great. He'd
be
have
barking.
He would have his own little mic, and he would just sniff it. He'd be like,
He'd be great until like if a horn honked like 10 miles away. He'd be like, "Oh, there's somebody there to kill ya." But then if somebody came to the door, he would just completely ignore it. Because that's been my security feature.
It's a great guard dog.
Yeah, I think a bird would be better.
What, like a song
like
bird?
like a parrot type bird,
Oh,
bird
a
that
parrot.
talk.
Oh
that,
yes,
you know,
that would be so fun. Except if you like taught your bird how to swear, in which case it will just swear.
It would be just a series of beeps, right? Sensor beeps.
Yes. Or teach your parrot the sensor beeps. Just play it, and then the parrot can...
And you'll never know what he really meant to say.
Yes.
Haven't you seen those videos where people like will beep out like just random words?
Yes.
And it sounds like they're cursing.
But they're not. Yeah.
Those are really funny.
Yeah, so when you said bird, I thought you meant like a songbird. I'm like, just a bird tweeting in the studio?
That might be fun.
That might be fun, just to like have like some bird song
You
in
should
the
get
background.
birds and have them fly around.
I'm sure Steve would
I really
love
hate.
that.
I really do not like birds. Of course, last time I said I didn't really like an animal, I ended up with one, so I should be careful.
Be careful what you wish for.
Be careful what you say you can't handle.
Or you just might get it. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of having birds, but they are just kind of, they're annoying. For me, I get my fix on TikTok. I follow a few birds.
I don't follow any birds on TikTok.
They're very cute. There's this one parrot. His name is Bruno, and he his owners speak Spanish,
Mhm.
and so he speaks Spanish, and so the videos have like English captions, but obviously in bird fashion they fixate on one word and they repeat it. And so this particular bird says atrapado, which is trapped in Spanish, and so this bird is always screaming about being trapped when it's
Aw.
not. And I'm just like, this poor bird, why is it trapped? But it also like snickers in Spanish. It's like
cute.
You know, it's very, very cute. So yeah, birds maybe not. What else?
We had a lady come in to work the other day, a customer that had, at first when I saw her come up, I thought it was like a really ugly dog. It was the cutest bunny ever.
It's bunny.
It was a little teeny. I mean, I could have held it in both my hands. It was so cute.
So
she told me what kind of or what kind of
bunny
it was, but I don't remember what it was. But I always say that I didn't get to the Johnson County Fair this year, but every time I go, I always make sure I go to the animals, and I love watching the bunnies.
Yeah,
I love looking at all the bunnies.
Yeah, I like seeing the animals at the Johnson County Fair too. I didn't go this year, mostly because COVID, but
it was also kind of hot, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was hot. Yeah, so I didn't go this year, but I always like to go see the animals. I used to love the rides at the Johnson County Fair, but I feel like I am far too old for them now.
I mean, the last time I went was my youngest was, I think, sophomore or junior in high school, probably.
Mm-hmm.
It was 2 years ago or 3 years ago before COVID.
Yeah,
they didn't have it at all last year, did they?
I don't think so.
So the year before last, I think, is the last time I went.
Yeah, 2019 was the last time I went to.
And I just parked myself in front of the magic show guy and watched that while my kid went and her friends went and rode the rides. I think they got one of those things where you could ride for like an hour.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was like a free pass all night or something. I forget what it was. But
I went on like that big tall slide, but since I am an adult woman and not a child, it was kind of hard getting up. And there's a lot of bumps on the way down, and so it just kind of hurt. And I'm like, this is not for me.
I don't remember that way. Is that kind of like they have at State Fair with you like slide down on a rug or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, and my friend who is actually like still, she's very tiny, and so she actually like flew over the side because she was going too fast and she weighed so
we were
little.
talking about that because at work we were talking about the State Fair specifically, and my opinion is if you've lived in Iowa for 10 or 15 years, you should go to the State Fair at least once because it's like an Iowa thing to do. But we were talking about the rides and stuff, and I remember that big slide because they had like a multi-lane slide there. That's kind of a standard
Yeah, I
thing.
remember.
But I vaguely recall, and this would have been 40 years ago when I was a kid, they had to shut it down at one point because I could have sworn I had heard that somebody had like sliced their finger off on something going down it. Now this is, I'm 50.
Maybe that's
so
why.
this would have been when I was like 9 or 10. But
Maybe
again, this is pre-internet, so I don't know if this is true. I can't research it. But
maybe that's why they have the potato sacks now that you
maybe.
And so you don't like accidentally slice your finger on the grooves in the slide and get an
it seems
infection
like
or something.
that's something that could happen because one little. I mean, those things age. I know they maintain them. I would assume fairly well, but. And this might have been I'm guessing there's some sort of regulation to carnival rides where they have to have like them inspected.
I would hope.
Do they?
I would hope. I don't know. I've never manned a ride in my life.
I would assume so.
Actually, the last time I went on, I used to love that Ferris wheel egg ride where you could like spin around if you wanted to. The last time I went on one of those was a few years ago, and I was with my friend, and it was like swaying in the wind, and we were legitimately scared for our lives. So I've not.
Well, there was a
not been on
video
one.
of I'm guessing a carnival type ride.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if it was one that was like a Ferris wheel type thing, or I don't remember what it was, but like the actual ride itself was starting to like teeter back and forth, and literally a crowd came to sort of stabilize part of the ride so that the car or whatever it was that was coming into it wouldn't get. Yeah, I mean, like, whoa.
Absolutely not. No, I'm not. I don't think I'm going to go on a carnival ride again. Maybe at like a amusement park, it's different because they're like
they're
structures.
standard, yeah.
And, like,
and
yeah.
I know there's regulations in like Adventureland has to have inspections every year, I would assume.
Yeah.
But
You
like
would
carnival
assume.
rides, I'm sure there is. But then it's also just this act of like you're constantly
It seems
taking
more
them
lax.
apart, putting them back together. That's a lot of wear and tear that they don't have a lot of control over.
Yeah.
All it takes is one person not to screw something in right.
Mm-hmm.
Not to disparage the carnival.
No, we're just speculating about.
Stick with the food. It's safer.
I actually just remembered. In addition to that slide, which I can't go on anymore, I don't think I can go into like those haunted mazes. Not haunted, but just like those mazes anymore.
With the mirror?
Yes.
Oh my God, we went to one in Gatlinburg.
That was so, but the one at the Johnson County Fair was like so narrow because it's meant for kids, you know,
Right.
like my sister, our friend, and I were adults doing children things, but it was so narrow, and like I'm not claustrophobic, but like I was a little bit claustrophobic in there. I'm just like, oh my God.
I'm a little, and I get a little anxious when I can't find my way out.
Uh-huh.
But we went to one, and I guess it was Pigeon Forge, so they're like two towns right next to each other, and they had this like museum type place that had different things. Like they had like a 3D like movie that also it moved. So like you were in a chair where it would shake, like you were, like you felt like you were in the ride, but it was a movie. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They also had I can't remember what they called it. It was basically a mirror maze.
Yes.
And we could not get out of it. And another group came up to us and they were stuck too. And finally one of the people figured it out, and they're like, come over here. Like we were helping each other out, and I kept touching. I'm like, is this it? Because they had the mirrors, but they had the glass. So it looked like that was a way out, but it was only mirrors behind the glass.
Yeah,
it was good.
This one was not a mirror one, but it was like a dark one. Like you had to feel your way in the dark, and I'm just like, I am an adult and I can barely figure this out. How is a kid supposed to like figure this out? I'm like, or maybe I'm not as smart as I think I am.
Well, it's like the corn mazes. Again, an Iowa thing. If you haven't done it, you should do one at least once in your life.
I've done a haunted corn maze. That was fun. I think
there's a couple places in the area. I want to say the Solon, the one that on the way out to Solon.
I've not been to that one. I've been to
I don't
Scream
remember the name of
Acres,
it.
and that's by Cedar Rapids.
Oh, we went there a couple years ago. I took Katie before she could drive. I took her and her friends. That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, my friend and I went a few years ago. Obviously not last year because COVID, but yeah, a few years ago, and it was actually like really scary.
I was scared, but I discovered that when I'm scared like that, all I do is laugh.
Yeah.
I apologize. Like I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry.
See, for me, I do this thing where if I'm scared, I will overcompensate with humor, and so I will, like, a zombie will pop out at me, and I'm like, cool makeup, dude, or something like that, like totally ruining the experience. I'm sorry if you're ever at a haunted house with me.
I was like, I'd scream and I start laughing. I'm like, excuse me, can I get by you?
One time, my friend and I were in a haunted corn maze, and we were immediately taken out of it because the person who was supposed to be scaring us just like was off in the field, and before they came out at us, they like accidentally let out a fart, and so we knew that they were there. And so they didn't come out because we could hear that they were there. And my friend and I just kept walking, and then we were just laughing, and it kind of like ruined the entire other thing because we were just like, they just be farting over here.
That can be scary to some people.
No, it was. And I usually don't find fart jokes funny. I really don't, but that circumstance was very funny.
Yes. Yeah. Halloween's just around the corner.
Yes. Oh, I'm seeing the Halloween store, the Spirit Halloween store, where Pier 1 Imports used to be.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know if it's open yet, but later this month. It's always open in, like, late August.
I fully want to do Harley Quinn.
Do you?
I have no place to go. And I don't think it would be... It might not be great for work. I don't know.
Why? I mean, why not? I mean, it's kind of... She has kind of a tight costume, but it's not, like... It's not too revealing, I don't think.
But I'd have to, like, kick butt. I would have to be in character.
She has this weird voice, right? Like this high, shrill
like kind
voice.
of baby-like.
It's like...
And she's just super annoying, which is so cute.
I disagree. I disagree.
I know, but okay, so the movie, her humor was very, very funny. Most of the laugh out louds was because of her. At least for me it was. But she also had a great scene about red flags, which has stuck with me.
Oh, isn't it? I saw a gift set of that. It was like, I don't
want to spoil it, but...
She's like, I've been working on red flags. Yeah. Like, if I see one, I'll murder him or something.
Basically.
Yeah.
So
the punchline is murder him.
She did
whatever.
Murder somebody, but I don't care. You can see it on HBO Max.
That's just... It's not a spoiler. It's a line.
I know, but she does end up murdering the person that she has.
Oh, well, I didn't know
I
that.
just spoiled it.
So
but you don't know who it is.
You
don't know who it is.
She killed somebody. We're not going to tell you who it is, mainly because I don't know.
Technically, I don't know if he's dead.
But...
Because, you don't know with those kind of shows. But...
Yeah,
she was not wrong. She was not wrong. I'm just going to say that. I fully support it.
Maybe that's a spoiler. But she wasn't wrong. That means she killed a bad guy.
She wasn't wrong.
That means she killed a bad guy.
And there were some red flags.
Spoiler.
And it's good for her. You should always listen to red flags.
Yes, you should. Maybe not kill them, though. Actually, I don't think you should murder people. That's my official stance.
Okay, fine.
For legal reasons, that is my official stance.
For legal reasons, do we have to say that? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know.
If you're saying that we have to say that when we're on air, then yes, fine. Do not murder somebody if they have a red flag.
Do not murder someone, period. That's illegal and bad. And bad.
Technical about it, I would never murder anybody, God. First of all, I would not want to clean up the mess.
Right?
I'm just saying. I'm pretty lazy when it comes up to cleaning messes.
Yeah. That would just be a big old mess.
And there's never a clean way to murder people.
No. Morally or physically.
No, really. I mean, I'm just saying. Quit murdering. It's cleaner.
Yes. Quit murdering.
It's a lot of work.
You could have just stopped there. Quit murdering. Period.
I feel like some people need extra, reasons
incentive not
to murder. Or not to be a horrible person.
Don't do it, period. Do not kill people, period.
We start with prostitution.
End with murdering people. Well,
it's not over yet.
It's not the end.
Where will we go next?
We still have half an hour. We started with prostitution, Cindy. How?
The 7 deadly sins. No, I don't think prostitution is one of the 7 deadly sins, is it?
No, I'm not a Christian, so I don't.
Is that from the Christianity, or is that a Bond movie? I forget.
No, 7 deadly sins is like a Bible thing.
It's a movie too.
What?
I think. It sounds like a Bond movie. The 7 deadly sins.
No, it's definitely a religion thing. Maybe Bond.
It's definitely religion. There's a list.
Yeah.
The 7 Christianity.
It's not one of the sins. That's the religion it belongs to.
So I'm Google searching. And of course, why is it the first website I go to doesn't give me just the list?
I don't know.
You got to read through a whole thing.
I know one of them is pride, one of them is sloth, one of them is
those are
lust, wrath. There's some more. Yeah, those are the sins. Those are the
I know,
seven
but
deadly sins.
Okay. Lust, gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, envy, pride, and browse additional article contents is the 8th.
No. Wait, Yeah, I'm like, wait, how are you going to continue? You just listed 7. The 8th deadly sin.
It's Friday.
Browsing.
I may not have gotten enough sleep last night. Don't ever give me a teleprompter.
My
'cause I'll just
gosh.
read everything that's on there.
You're like, please turn page. Or.
But like sins, like you go to hell for those, right?
Yes. Supposedly.
Just for
Allegedly.
eating too much?
Yes. Well, it's like, it is like eating too much, but I think deeper than that, it's like enjoying things with excess. Whether that be like actual food or like gambling or sex or whatever. Just like greed is one of them. But
So you can have a little bit of all of these.
Yes,
but
moderation.
you can't have a lot of any of them.
Yes.
Well, that's never been my strong suit. Just saying.
I don't know.
I'll be in hell.
Yes.
Probably.
I'll be there too.
If there is such. And now we end with religion.
No, we're not ending.
7 was the movie. With Brad Pitt.
Is it just called 7?
Brad Pitt.
What are you?
Gwyneth Paltrow was in it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And the other dude was in it. But it was a murder, like the murderer, the serial murderer that they were chasing, I think posed all of his victims in the various sins.
Oh.
It was a big movie back in the day. It would have been early 2000s because I remember I was working at Hard Luck when it came out.
Yeah, that's not a movie I would have seen.
It's
when I was a
kind
kid.
of a classic. If you like the
What's it
horror
called?
murder.
What's it called?
I think it's called 7.
It's called 7.
Like 7 Deadly Sins, but
Yeah.
7.
I don't think
I've
I've ever
7, but it's SE. The number 7 EN.
I don't think I've ever heard of that, honestly. Or if I have, like...
Yeah, Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt, Gwyneth Paltrow.
What?
Kevin Spacey was in it? I don't remember. I think he might have been the murderer. I don't remember. 1995.
Spoilers.
Spoiler from...
95.
How
I was
many?
2 years old. Of course I'm not going to know
I know,
about
but
that.
you should watch it now. It's kind of a classic movie.
Is it?
I think so.
I've not heard of it.
That's how I learned about the 7 Deadly Sins.
Right.
That I promptly forgot.
Apparently, because we had to Google it.
I don't
and we
remember all
thought
the
there were
details,
8.
but I think that's what it was. Like they were chasing a murderer. And they, the murder person based their murders on the different...
The murder person, otherwise known as a
I
murderer.
think he picked his victims based on what sin he thought they were causing.
Oh, interesting. Actually, that does
Was
kind of
that-
sound like a good movie.
Was that the movie, or am I just writing the best movie ever?
Are you
right
writing
now?
the best movie ever?
I mean, it was 95. I can recycle that idea, right?
Remake.
I mean, they literally
A
made
remake.
Suicide Squad twice
after
in like
5 years.
5
yes.
years.
I mean, yeah, you can propose it to a studio. Be like, hey, we're gonna remake 7,
but not tell them it's a remake. Just pretend it's a new idea.
I'm sure there are people in the industry around in 95. They're gonna remember.
But what if the industry was made of people like you who had never heard of that movie?
They'll be like, that's brilliant.
I want to pitch, but only to the millennial types that have never seen.
Wait, just get like a really unknown director who is like,
this is the best idea ever.
Who is 30 years old or younger.
Yes.
You can't go over 30 because then they might know what it is. But
we're going to be millionaires.
You know what? I'm just kind of implying that people my age don't know what that is. That's just a me thing. I'm sure there are other people out there around my age being like, of course I know that movie. Molly's an idiot.
That's why I always thought that 7 was one of those movies like Silence of the Lambs that people have watched even if they didn't go to movies when that was a movie in the theaters. No? Did you watch Silence of the Lambs?
No, I haven't seen it. Oh my God. I haven't seen it. I know. Okay, but I can't really stomach those old horror movies because they're just not scary to me.
That wasn't so much... Was it horrific? Like it was more of a murder mystery type in my memory.
Really?
Although I guess it was kind of scary.
Wait, isn't Silence of the
It was
Lambs
more
about the guy that eats people?
Psychological thriller is what that was.
Okay.
That was more psychological because I don't remember a lot of blood and guts in it.
Okay,
Or
well,
jump scares or anything.
I do not consider like blood and guts horror. I consider that like gore. That's not. I don't think that's the same thing. For me, for a movie to be scary, like it needs to be kind of like a psychological thing.
Right.
Like the scariest movie I've ever seen is Midsummer. Came out a few years ago, and it was just because of like there was some violence, there was some gore, but it was mostly psychological, and like it just like freaked me out. And so like it's gonna be a while until I see it again, because like right off the bat, I'm not gonna tell you what happens, but like right off the bat, something really disturbing happens, and it sets the tone for the entire film.
Yeah, and I don't like horror movies in general.
Yeah,
but I would say this is more of a thriller.
Okay,
is that a good distinction? Because that's a little bit different.
Yeah, thriller is a little bit different. But Silence of the Lambs, when I think of Silence of the Lambs, like, I don't know the story, but, like, I think of a horror movie. Like, if I hear that term, I'm like, oh, yes, that's a horror movie.
So I rewatched that recently because I wanted to watch Clarice, and sort of I had forgotten about what had happened.
Yeah, so it is about the guy eating someone.
That's not the main part of the movie, but yeah. That ends, like, at the end of the movie.
Oh.
He talks about eating the guy who did deserve to...
Oh, yeah.
He totally deserved to die.
Oh, of course.
But whatever he was, the prison master or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I did not feel bad about that. But spoiler alert from a movie that was 30 years old.
Older. Silence of the Lambs is not from the 90s. Is it? I thought it was older than that.
I don't remember when it first came out.
Anyway,
I was probably in high school, I think, when it came out, if I remember correctly.
So
but I thought it
90s.
aged really well.
Did it?
Because I rewatched it again. I don't like really watching a lot of movies from a long time ago because they don't often age well.
And I said last week, like, there's like a tonal shift that happens in like the early 2000s where watching something before the year 2000 is like just different, which I can't really describe it other than that.
Or anything like from the 80s, like especially TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
I have a hard time watching because it's like,
yeah, a lot of it doesn't.
We should have known better on some of the things that we stereotyped and made fun of and laughed about. We should have known better.
Yeah,
I didn't know better.
I mean, I wasn't around, so
we should have known better. But I watch some of the shows now, and I'm like. I always use Three's Company as an example because...
I've never seen it.
I mean, they basically made fun of being gay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that was a thing in, like, most media until, like, the last decade.
Yes. And we should have known better.
Yeah. I agree. I'm glad we're doing better now.
Yes. I hope we're doing better. I'm trying, but...
some ways to go, but...
I'm still... struggling, so bear with me.
I'm nodding my head. That's not conducive to the radio, but
we can hear the chair squeak.
We can be like, no, you probably can. I can't sit still. I can't sit still. Can you hear it?
I can hear it kind of moving around. Yeah.
Well, no, it's louder if I'm like.
Ooh, Molly, what are you doing over there?
I am just...
That does not sound what you think it sounds like.
It's just me moving the chair.
Yeah, right.
It's just me moving the chair. It's fine. We have lost all of our audience on the
I'm still
stream.
showing 2.
Oh, see, there's 1 now.
Oh, so mine... I might have to reload.
I think our...
Yes, 1.
Our
which
guy,
is probably
Greg,
still me.
left.
Bye, Greg. With 2
Bye,
G's.
Greg.
3 G's, I should say.
I think it's... Oh, that's right. There's 3 G's. Yes.
I mean, we could run down the whole list of 7 sins and talk about our...
I don't think so. I don't want the Christians being mad at me.
I just don't like the idea of having that kind of thing, that's what gets you into hell.
Yeah.
It should be something more major than...
Like eating a lot.
Even if you eat a whole lot and you're 1,000,000 pounds, that shouldn't...
Again, I think it's deeper than that. It's like excess.
Let's get real. Some of those
Taking more than you
are
need.
mental illnesses.
Yeah.
So maybe we should be a little bit more... Just saying.
I don't think whoever came up with the deadly sins were really keen on mental illness back in the day. I don't
1,000 years ago,
or however many. Again, I don't know about,
because all of these
Christianity, Catholicism.
There are support groups for every single one of these.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Except for maybe sloth, because no one's going to a group for that.
Well, I feel like sloth can be a symptom of depression.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Thank you, Molly. There's medication for all of these. Wrath. What is wrath? Oh,
rage. It's
okay,
rage.
That's helpful.
Or like rage and also like vengeance and like stuff like that.
So like holding a grudge.
I
Would
feel
that
like
be a wrath?
I feel like wrath is more like violent than that. I feel like holding a grudge is like
strong
passive aggressive.
Anger and hate towards another person.
Oh.
But to me,
so
that's a
hate.
protection.
What's the support group?
Well, and
for
here's
that?
the thing. If you don't feel good about somebody, you should listen to that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You don't necessarily have to hate them or have strong anger, but there's some people where you meet them and you just for some reason don't like
vibe
them.
with them. Yeah.
There's probably a reason. Your body is telling you something.
Mm-hmm. Trust your instincts.
I think wrath is a protection from evil people.
I feel like what they mean, though, is like...
You're supposed to love your enemy and all that crap.
Yes.
Whatever. Yes. I mean, I'm not going to outright, like, hurt my enemy, but my enemy is my enemy for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that I have enemies, but...
No, I don't either.
But I have people I don't trust.
Like who? Let's air it out on the air. Who do you not trust, Cindy?
Donald Trump.
Oh, I don't trust him either.
I feel wrathful towards him.
For legal reasons, that is a joke.
Allegedly. Yeah, pride. I think pride's okay. I've decided, like, most of these deadly sins are fine.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. I was going to say something. I think I'm going to save that, though. I'm going to not say that.
You tell me later.
Yes. Again, I don't want people being mad at me. So, see, we talked about animals being co-hosts. We talked about the 7 deadly sins.
And how they're not really sins.
Yeah. Let's see.
We talked about prostitution.
We did, but that was like, that's old news.
A long time ago.
That was old news.
Ago.
That's like an hour ago, man. Or no, even like an hour and a half ago. Oh, here's something. Today I saw a TikTok, and it was a girl from the South, and she was like, y'all ever had peanuts and Coke? And so she like put peanuts in her Coke, and I was like, actually, that looks really good. So I did it today, and guess what? It's really good. So
it does not sound good.
No, it's good. It's like,
but I've had boiled peanuts, and those were disgusting.
Well, so she said to get like salted peanuts, just regularly salted peanuts, but the place I went to didn't have that, so I got honey roasted peanuts. But since Coke is already sweet, I feel like that would probably complement nicely the honey roasted peanuts and not like overly salted.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think maybe I got like something that was more complimentary and not maybe what she was intending. But
I'm gonna have to
my
see
version was good.
At least 3 or 4 TikToks before I try that. I did finally try mustard.
Watermelon? Really? How was it?
It tasted like watermelon with mustard on it.
Yeah.
It did not blend. It did not taste like some magical, like sometimes when you put two things together, it tastes like a third thing that's really wonderful. Well, this did not. It tasted literally like mustard on watermelon.
Honestly, that's the thing about the peanuts and Coke. Like, it tastes like peanuts and Coke. It was just fun to drink because there was a peanut and you could chew it after you had a drink, but yeah, I can't imagine having mustard on watermelon.
It wasn't good. And I might have put too much mustard on it. I don't know. But how do you even judge that when it's really not something that should be a thing?
No, people just do whatever they want. And they'll be like, guys, you have to try this. It's so good. And it's like disgusting.
I think they were just, let's think of the most, like the grossest thing and try to make a thing out of it.
Yeah. People will just do that.
But when we were down south last year, I finally had boiled peanuts.
I don't think I've ever had boiled
That's a thing.
peanuts.
At the more down south you get, that's a thing in all the gas stations.
Ooh. Was it good?
It was not good.
No.
And I don't even want to say, well, maybe it just wasn't maybe the place didn't make it right. It's just, I don't know. And we tried the spicy and the not spicy, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But I tried it.
Were they equally bad?
I just don't like peanuts that are boiled.
I guess. I guess not. Do you like peanuts?
Well, I mean, I'd rather have cashews, but I'll eat them in things.
Like peanut butter?
Sure. And if it's in like a trail mix, I won't pick out the peanuts. I'll eat them.
Mm-hmm.
And like in candy bars, like Snickers, they're really good.
Ooh, yes. Love a Snickers.
Yeah. But I won't eat like a jar of peanuts.
I think I would.
I'll eat an entire like Costco container of cashews. Those are good. Cashews are sweeter.
I like cashews. Actually, I find peanuts pretty sweet too. Like, out of all the nuts, cashews are sweeter, but like I feel like
cashews are also a little bit fancier.
Are they?
It's just for fancier people, I think.
Are they?
I'm a certain class of nut. Peanuts are just too basic.
What? Cashews are basic too.
No, they're expensive. Have you ever bought cashews?
Yes, I have.
They're more expensive than peanuts.
I have not noticed that.
So that means they're better.
Does it?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Does it? Well, what?
How can we talk for like an hour and 45 minutes, like nonstop, about absolutely nothing? In the last 15 minutes, we're like, now what do we talk about?
I don't know.
Y'all, somebody call in.
Yeah, somebody call in.
Give us like
something.
a random topic.
Give us something. 319-358-1630.
We will literally talk about anything. Anything. Molly will all make her.
Well, no. I mean, we've already talked about prostitution.
I mean, I made you talk about that. You enjoyed it. Come
did.
on, you enjoyed it.
You did make me talk about that.
Why should prostitution be legalized?
Yeah, let's get
I mean, it should be, because they can tax it, they can regulate it.
It's the oldest profession in the world.
That's the one thing I learned off TikTok, is that they actually get the folks get tested, the workers get tested.
Good. Necessity.
Yes.
Bare minimum.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess we're at a loss for words. I mean,
I've run out of movies that I watch. Oh, I watched Gunpowder Milkshake that everyone else has seen on.
I saw.
So the girl from.
I saw like the banner for it. Yeah, it stars Karen Gillan, doesn't it?
Yeah, from Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And a million other things since then, but.
Well, yeah.
I'm so glad she got to be. She was like, that was her first big role. Am I wrong?
It was, yeah. She actually, so she was in Doctor Who before she was like in Doctor Who. Like, she had a guest role 2 seasons before she became a regular. And I think that was her first acting role. She was like maybe 17 when she
I
did
didn't realize that. Wow.
Yeah, and then she was like 19 when they casted her as Amy or something like that. She was just really young. But yeah, I've seen the banner for it, but what is Gunpowder Milkshake about?
It's super campy. It's basically, she is the daughter of a hit woman who disappeared.
Oh.
Because she, like, got in trouble or something. They kind of go through it in the whole movie. That's part of the reveals.
Yeah.
And she becomes a hit woman herself. That's pretty, like, she's really good at her job. And
really
so
good
she
at
ends
killing
up,
people.
I think, killing the wrong person or killing... Anyway, around and about, she was sent out to kill somebody. She decided not to because she found out that that person had a daughter that had been kidnapped, which is why he stole the money, and that's why she was sent after him to kill him.
Oh, that sounds good.
That kind of roundabout thing. So that's most of the movie is her trying to protect this little girl, and which is funny in itself. I mean, there's some humorous parts of it.
Yeah.
And the fighting is very well choreographed. I think there's an interesting soundtrack, although nothing really jumped out at me music-wise. But
I like soundtracks
and
in
then
movies.
Lena Headey, I think her name is, who those of you who have watched Game of Thrones,
which
will
is
know
not
her
me,
as the queen who ended up becoming queen and was having sex with her twin brother.
Oh.
Yeah. She was pretty amazing in that role, but
my goodness,
that's where I'm sure she's been in other stuff besides Game of Thrones, but that's the one.
Yeah, that's the thing you know her for.
And I think Angela Bassett.
Oh,
and then the other woman, I recognize from other stuff. She's Asian, and I don't remember her name, but I know I've seen her. I want to say she was in that. Crazy Rich Asians. I want to say she played the grandmother.
Not
Awkwafina, but it was the older woman. Yeah. And that's what was actually really...
Like Nick's mother?
I believe so.
I don't remember the actress's name or even the character name, but I think I do know who you're talking about.
It could be like the Caucasian in me not being able to distinguish, but I know she's been in other stuff because she's really familiar and she's really good. But that's another thing I'm just realizing now. A lot of the characters, like the female characters, were middle-aged and above, which I love.
Well, not Karen Gillan. She's
but like the other women in it. So there's these, I think they call them the aunts, basically.
The aunt, yeah.
That kind of helped her with like weapons and stuff and kind of gave her a place to hide. And, you know, they were this group of women that hide in a library, essentially. But they were all older. I mean, they had to have been, all of them, at least 50, I would think, or two of them were at least. Because Angela Bassett, she's not.
Yeah, she's not
young. She looks great for whatever age she is. But,
but she's not like she's been around for a bit.
Yeah, so that was kind of nice to see.
Yeah,
the other actors I didn't really.
I'll see it this weekend probably.
It's fun little quick little.
It's on Netflix.
Yes.
Yeah. I couldn't remember where I saw it, but it's a good bet. I've seen it on Netflix because that's still like my number one streaming service.
I mean, it's not a movie that will change your views on anything.
I don't think I've ever watched a movie that has.
Every movie for me. There's always some moment where I'm like, oh my God.
No, for me, I have this discussion with my friend because we watch movies together. Like he hosts like a movie night on Monday nights. We have different philosophies when it comes to movies. He likes artsy films that like give a perspective on like a topic, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, I'm just here for a good time. I'm just trying to be entertained for 2 hours. I just kind of want to turn my brain off for 2 hours and not have to think. But he's like, no, I want to like notice the cinematography and like blah 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 blah. And just like, I just really could not care less. I'm so sorry, but and so whenever we watch a movie, he'll be like, oh, I hate it. I'm like, that's so cool. Or I'll be like, this is boring, and he's like, no, this is a beautiful movie. And I'm just like, ugh. You know,
both fair points though.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like oh wow, you like watching movies for like a plot, like a point. No, we just have different philosophies about it.
Did we talk? I don't remember when I watched it. The Jungle movie?
Oh, Jungle Cruise. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet.
It's cute.
I do want to see it. I just never... I've only seen a few... actually, only 2 movies in the theater this year. I've only seen In the Heights and Zola. Those are the only 2 I've seen
This would be
year.
fun to watch in a theater. I watched it on the TV.
I know, but
But it's got a lot of action that's very big. I think it'd be better in the theater if you get a chance.
I used to love going to a theater alone.
But
I just got out of the habit of it last year, and then I just haven't gone this year. I wanted to see Old, you know, that movie about the beach where
everyone gets old.
Yes,
in a day. Yeah, that is not a movie I'll be watching.
I wanted to see it. I don't know if it's still in theaters, but I asked my friends if they wanted to see it for movie night, and nobody did. So
I'm living that life right now. Every day I wake up and I feel like I'm 10 years older. It's not fun, Molly.
Well, it's my future, so we'll see.
It's not some fantasy movie.
It's my life.
It's my life.
No, but I heard it was bad, but I want to make my mind up myself about that.
Sometimes the bad movies are entertaining.
Yeah, but sometimes they're just bad.
Yeah.
But you don't know unless you watch it.
Well, I won't watch more than 30 minutes of a movie if it doesn't engage me.
See, if I pay for it in the theater, I will stick it out. But if it's at home and I'm watching it on Netflix, if I'm not engaged within 10 minutes, I'll turn it off. Because it's I
think I give comedies at 15 minutes. Because I'm if you're not making me laugh in the first 15 minutes, you're not a comedy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna wait.
I do that for shows too. Sometimes I will start watching a show and I will give it at least 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, if it's a good show, if it's a critically acclaimed, multiple people have said, oh, you should really give this a shot,
Mm-hmm.
I will do at least 2 episodes to be respectful. But if it's just a sitcom, I'll watch it for 2 minutes and then I'll be this is stupid and turn it off.
Well, no, sitcoms are that, if it doesn't entertain you in the first 5 minutes, you need to
exactly
cut bait.
Yeah.
But things like Mad Men and stuff, I always give as an example. You have to watch at least 2 or 3 episodes to sort of get into it.
What you and a few other people told me that I should watch The Mandalorian, and I gave that 2 episodes, and I'm you know what, I just don't really care about it. The only thing I care about is Baby Yoda, and
He gets cuter in every episode.
I don't care about the plot. I just want to see Baby Yoda.
You don't care about the masked hot Mando?
I'm sorry. I don't think I do. Which pains me to say, but you know what? I do love Baby Yoda, though. I went to Anime Iowa 2 weekends ago, and I got a few stickers. One of them being Baby Yoda.
You know, he's got an actual name.
Grogu or something.
Yes.
Whatever. It's actually, it makes me...
It's the worst name ever. I don't know why they named it.
I actually love ticking off Star Wars fans calling it Baby Yoda. They're it's not called that. It's called the child.
I'm not even a Star Wars fan, but I'm sitting here, it's not Baby Yoda. It's not actually Yoda as a baby.
I know that.
Because Yoda was his name, right?
Everybody. I know that. I just like
everyone does it.
Ruffling your feathers.
So we sell the Baby Yoda stuff at Hallmark, and there's always people that come in and buy it. I'm oh, did you watch The Mandalorian? And none of them have. None of them have.
It's just cute.
They just like the little baby, and I'm
it's
okay,
just cute.
It's not a Baby Yoda, right?
Well, it is a baby of whatever species Yoda is.
And I think I've asked people that, and no one knows what species
exactly.
He is.
That's why people call it Baby Yoda, because we don't know what race it is or what
so everyone is
breed
not Baby
it is.
Yoda.
It's not an actual Baby Yoda, but it is a baby of whatever.
Because that's what confused me
Yoda
too. Because I haven't watched all of the Star Wars stuff, and I won't. But
no,
I watched the originals back in the 70s,
mm-hmm.
and then I haven't really seen much since. But when I started watching Mandalorian, I thought, because it's a Baby Yoda, it was Yoda as a baby. So I was trying to figure out the timeline.
I thought it was a prequel. Yeah.
But Yoda was a million years old when he met Luke.
Yeah. Well, Luke has nothing to do with this, right? This is just don't spoil it, but at the start of the series, the 2 episodes I saw,
I really want
had
to
nothing to. Nope. Because there are people.
If you haven't watched it, it's been over a year.
Okay, fine. Spoil it. Spoiler alert.
He shows
people.
up at the end. But
Wow.
it's like computer generated. I don't know how they did it because he looked really young. It must have been a computer thing.
Oh, so it was a prequel.
I don't know because
why would he need to be
he
younger?
would have been.
Why would he need to be younger?
I don't know. Somebody explained the whole time frame of it.
Wait,
to
okay,
me,
so
but
is Luke?
I think it was after
Hayden Christensen.
My Luke is the other guy who was old when
Mark Hamill.
Who was like in his 20s when he
did.
So
okay, I'm asking though, who is the actor at the end of The Mandalorian?
It's a computer, whatever, manipulated Mark Hamill.
Oh, it's Mark Hamill. Okay. Interesting. All right.
That's what I saw.
Interesting.
But I could be wrong because I really don't know what all the little details are.
I don't either. Well, we found something to talk about for the last 15 minutes, and now it's time.
And we
for us
spoiled
to go.
every movie and every TV show that you should have watched a year ago.
Yeah.
Or 30 years ago in the case of 7.
Or
I could spoil that. Somebody's head ends up in a box.
1995 was not 30 years ago. It was 21 years ago.
Yeah, you should have watched 7 already. Gwyneth Paltrow's head ends up
But
in a
I
box.
haven't seen it.
We could just do a whole movie, a whole 2 hours of just like
Spoiling
spoiling
movies.
all of the movies that are 20 years old.
That's
or
an
more.
idea. That's an idea.
Let's do that.
Honestly, that is an idea. Okay, so thank you very much for listening to our show today. I feel like we could probably do one more of these before
football starts.
Or
bowling,
and
or whatever the next season is.
Or NASCAR or whatever. But yeah, football is definitely the next sport that we're doing. And then, of course, the schedule gets a little bit busier.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we can do like one more of these either Thursday or Friday because we have nothing going on.
Let me know.
Yeah, I'll just let you know. All right. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
From the Hertine and Stalker Studios in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Hertine and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
Now, Iowa City's news first.
I'm Tommy Lang with KCJJ News. The Reimagining Campus Safety Advisory Committee has released their report on how to best reform the University of Iowa Police Department. The report consists of input from Iowa City residents and the campus community over a roughly 6-month period. 3 proposed models were presented for reforming the UIPD. They include keeping the basic structure of the department as is, but adding diversity